I think Sanford will still be Sanford, but it's just a shame if like people get priced out of the area that they've grown up in. Like, it's just, yeah, it's not really very fair, and it all seems to revolve around money and not necessarily people's well-being and community.
In 1968, a group of young people formed a non-profit organisation called SCD and put forward a radical new plan which involved, among other features, a large building programme of communal houses, purpose-designed for the young and mobile, and the organisation of each scheme as a locally owned housing cooperative run by the member tenants. The cooperative approach was, in fact, an old solution in a new setting. Although applied here specifically for the young and mobile, it could be of much wider relevance to one of the common ills of today, the alienation and loneliness of individuals in modern urban society.
We got this place cheap in the 70s because it was a freaking brown site. So all of the soil here is built up because the soil was like toxic.
Is it still toxic?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you touch it. I mean, but all the soil here, it's all been built up and we compost and a lot of these land berms and stuff, that's just our old vegetables. Yeah. With soil. So that's why it's single adults. This is why initially families weren't allowed to live here because I guess it was like too toxic for kiddies. So that was the deal. We got this little slice of land in the 70s to make single persons housing, you know, in a brown site between two railway lines. And they probably just thought, oh, fuck it, like let them have it. And then 40 years later, this is probably prime real estate that anyone would love to snatch up to build whatever. But it's ours, it's a freehold, and I think there's like this kind of concerns there. Not that anybody's gonna come here and say, are you the hippies to be managing this piece of land? But yeah, you kind of worry with all of this going around that some big developer who's a bit clever will come and say, are you the hippies to be managing this piece of land that's potentially worth 5 times more than you fucking paid for it? Mm-hmm. That's kind of freaky. But we tend to give a little bit more consideration to people who are local, to, you know, people who are working people, or people who, yeah, really could need or in housing need. So we will tend to bump these people higher up on a list, or especially for my own house. If we have a list of 3 people we really, really like, then we go, well, they're all great people. We'll start kind of trying to narrow it down more to like who needs it more.
For over the last 2.5 years, I've met a lot of homeless people, and the housing problem is particularly acute for young people in the 18 to 25 age range. And that's how we got involved, through meeting people with a housing shortage and desperate for accommodation. And I heard about SCDs.
I mean, there's a lot of like businesses popping up that you sort of think like, who are these businesses for? Like, probably not people that have been living here a long time. I mean, it's good. I think it's really nice, like, to live in a diverse area. So it's fine if there's like different people with different levels of income and different backgrounds. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's when like one part of the community starts kind of taking over and another that has just as much right to be there. I don't know I don't know those people that can afford to live in those places, like that. Certainly, like no one here. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that market is for, because it's not anyone that I associate with this area. Often what people say is like they've had enough of landlords, they're really fed up with, they've been treated badly, they've been exploited by their landlords, or like or they feel lonely in London, like they want somewhere that's more stable, that they feel like they have more ownership over, and somewhere where they feel like they're part of something bigger. So that, like, those reasons come through a lot of the time when people are sort of saying why they want to live here.
I did not have this place to live here and continue my studies and to like grow and develop and be a part of a community, then I probably couldn't live in London. I don't know if I could afford to live in a flat for £300 a week or some crap, you know, and not really have a sense of community. So for me, it was the fact that when I came here and I saw all the different kinds of people here, there were like punks and there were professionals and there's musicians and artists and activists, and I was like, wow, kind of provide that in the middle. It's kind of this little oasis in the middle of the city, you know.